just check. Might be a delay. There you go. All right, here we go. Okay. Is it a hump or a drop? What do you say? You got to twist your words in every which way, because the motto will always dictate what you do. Everybody knows that you've got the model affliction blues. Is it a straight line or does it curve? Some people unclamp it, but that is absurd. We all know that the model will always dictate what you do. Everybody knows that you are model afflicted blue. Model affliction, it's your addiction. That model affliction, it brings you so much pain. It's your ball and chain. Conflating curvature with elevation change has got your local distance just out of range. That old biggie is gonna dictate everything that you do. And everybody knows that you got the model affliction blues. It's your decision defending the model position. You just don't know the geometric proposition. That old ball, it'll always be illogical to you. That's why perpendicularity is a puzzle to you. Model affliction, it's your addiction. Model affliction, it brings you so much pain. It's your ball and chain. World famous Buster. And we are live again. Look at that. We're back. Been out, took a sunset. It's nice. I don't know whether I don't think I need to get it out and show you guys the sunset. We're gonna go over some stuff. I've listened to some boomers. Oh, they seem like they're obsessed. So
Give them a bit of content. This is good. This is fun. I hope everybody was listening to Blue Marble and the amazing shadow, the last surviving shadow giant, surveying shadow giant. Great. Larry Scott. He spoke extensively, but said absolutely nothing. It was amazing how somebody can speak and say so many words and not say anything about actually doing anything. I think they spoke about you can do fuck all with an angle. They did. They didn't say what that you could do with it. They just laughed at it. Like, you know, there's a lot of things that they do that sort of stuff. So if anybody knows yet what you can do with just an angle, let us know. Post answers on postcards, all of that sort of shit. Larry, especially you, because seeing as you're the only surviving shadow giant globe. When I said Blue Marble surveyor, I mean the surveyor of the Blue Marble. Special type of surveyors, because nobody else actually does that. Just the last surviving relic that is Larry Scott. Nobody else knows about it. We talked about the curvature switch as well. That was pretty good. Right, so what we've got here, I've been clipping a video because I'm going to be doing a Buster thing. Now, some of this stuff, we've been going over this in the Discord whenever I'm doing it, and some of this is funny. So if I go over something you think that's a bit weird, let us know and I can skip back a bit. I don't know whether you guys will need to do anything. You guys are in the Discord can hear this, and I'll just put it out to YouTube so everybody else can just listen along. So that's all we're going to be doing, is just going over a few clips and giving you an insight into some of these things that you hear that you don't actually get a chance to go over at the time because it just passes you by.
From people that don't really know what they're talking about.
Yeah, we just get a chance to go over them piece by piece and actually try and tune into exactly what these comments are and what they mean, right? So let me move that out of the way because that's it. Ruin that picture there, isn't it? Okie dokie. Right, so you guys, you can hear in, you're listening in, are you? Yeah. Okay, right, so let's see what we got here.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, here we go. These are all little tiny clips as well.
Well, hello, everybody. Bev Try Thinking says all horizontals are parallel to the plane of the horizon, and he also says level is horizontal, but he has yet to provide any proof of any of that. I say, on the other hand, that all horizontals are not parallel to the plane of the horizon.
See?
And I say that level is definitely not horizontal. And I can prove it.
He says he can.
That's what we're about to do.
Right,
If
so
all horizontals are parallel to the plane of the horizon, P, then all horizontals are parallel to each other, Q. All horizontals are parallel to the plane of the horizon, therefore all horizontals are parallel to each other.
right, just clips that Blue has stated for me, so thank you very much. Mike Jones has sent us $10 US. I'd like to thank Larry for confirming that he agrees that he can do fuck all with just an angle without an entire array of other things, and Blue agreeing with him that he'd need two distances as well. So Blue actually, in what we've just heard, Blue Marble and Larry both agreed that yes, you can do fuck all with an angle. You need other things, like we've always said. It's a well-known fact that with just an angle and no other things, if you've just in the possession of an angle, one angle, you can do fuck all with it. There's nothing geometric you can do with just an angle. Now, a lot of people have been upset about this. Shout out Nathan Oakley. I think QE was in there as well. There are many other people, Ruhif, and many others. But I'm glad to hear that Lars Mike points out that Larry and Blue Marble Science are with me. You can do fuck all with an angle. So yeah, thank you very much, Blue. And thank you very much, Larry. And thank you very much, Mike, for pointing that out.
Both valid and sound, observable and verifiable. Well, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
That's a begging the question fallacy, Bev. The premises assume the conclusion to be true. You are assuming that there is one and only one plane of the horizon, ignoring any other possibility.
No.
Now, this is Bev's contention. If there were one and only one plane...
It's not my contention. Blue, that's not my contention. I say that all horizontals are parallel to the plane of the horizon. I don't have any contentions.
Bev might be right. But what he's asking you to believe is that a line, a horizontal line...
I'm not asking anybody to believe anything.
Yes, you are going with definition. And
Yeah,
definition
just
says
stating an argument.
yes, but he's arguing the plane that you are saying that this is only one plane. No, you are just using definition from dictionary, which states the plane of the horizon. So you are not just making this up. So why it is begging the question?
There we go. I think, yeah, this is the one.
Parallel with the plane of the horizon in Miami, Florida, also has to be parallel to the plane of the horizon in Jacksonville, Florida. Just a simple statement.
There we go.
So can we test this? Well, absolutely. We need two things. We need two fixed points, like a point there and a point there.
See, now this is the bit that he's talking about. You've got 2 points. And that makes a straight line. I don't know whether we actually need to do all of this. I don't think it's going
But
to
we
take
have
us ages.
drawing. We have great drawing.
Yeah.
And this is test. This is test.
Blue's proof.
Bear with me for a second. I'll figure this out. How do I get Discord back on?
Bear with me.
I want to be sure. Something is not right. I'll tell you what, while I fiddle with this, why don't you go ahead, Bev?
So what I've done here, right, all of these little clips, they're going to be going in a Buster song. All of these little bits. Blue.
I'll tell you what, while I fiddle with this, why don't you go ahead, Bev?
That can be a clip for Discord, that. Here we go.
So maybe my eye is not as good as I thought it was. Maybe I got them a little bit out of whack. But in every case, in every single case, I fully intended to make sure the horizontals are perpendicular to verticals. That's the definition of it.
Did you hear that?
Yeah. Perpendicular to horizontal. Yeah.
Yeah. Just once more.
Maybe my eye is not as good as I thought it was. Maybe I got them a little bit out of whack. But in every case, in every single case, I fully intended to make sure the horizontals are perpendicular to verticals. That's the definition of it.
Right, so there's no way that you could ever have a horizontal that isn't perpendicular to a vertical, right? By
Yeah.
what Blue's just said. I mean, it's impossible. Like, how could you possibly do that?
That's I am always asking, tilting from what?
Yeah, it's like you can't have tilting if it's always perpendicular. Every case, it's always perpendicular to.
To kind of start it off is you've got nothing but pure geometry, and you have failed to consider a possibility of a different geometry. You've done nothing to look at what would happen if the Earth actually was spherical.
There you go. Do you want to hear that again? Because Blue did actually say that. That isn't clip. That's just a clip from Blue saying something. He's talking about my argument. I have pure geometry, and then there's a little aporia piece.
To kind of start it off is you've got nothing but pure geometry.
I've got nothing but pure geometry. Me. My arguments are pure geometry. Pure logic. Like perfect logic, really. It's
Yes,
the
and
logic that can't be beat, right? Pure geometric argument.
Maybe admitted that this argument is valid.
Yeah. Pure geometry.
And you have failed to consider a possibility of a different geometry. You've done
Right, so we've failed to consider the possibility of a different geometry. Why? If we've got a pure geometry argument,
Yes,
why would
and-
we even need to consider a different geometry? Because there's no such fucking thing.
And Baby admitted that your argument is valid, so your pure geometrical argument is logically valid and sound and whatever. No, he didn't say sound, but valid.
Yeah, it's pure.
So-
yeah.
This geometry plus logic, everything all right.
And then what have we failed to consider?
nothing to look at what would happen if the Earth actually was spherical.
So he's stating that your argument doesn't fit spherical geometry.
No, he said we've
Conclusion-
done nothing to consider. Well, we have.
Yeah,
We definitely have. We've got a reducto ad absurdum, right?
yes, but
Rumpus
in
pulls and
his
everything.
but there is implication of his statement. It means that spherical geometry is illogical because you made logical, admitted by Baby, argument, pure geometry, and it doesn't fit spherical geometry. It means that valid arguments cannot fit spherical geometry.
On the other hand, I made no assumptions whatsoever.
Oh,
Blue Marble
like-
there, didn't he? He made no assumptions whatsoever.
On the other hand, I made no assumptions whatsoever.
Well, yeah,
like curved level. Mhm.
like the fact that you
Never,
didn't consider another geometry. He wouldn't be assuming that other geometry that nobody really knows. No, of course not. Of course not. Assumption number one, a vertical is a straight line.
Yeah, and
That's
I make
okay.
the same
That's
assumption.
good.
A vertical is
And
a straight line. a
horizontal
is a straight line.
is
Perpendicular
perpendicular to it, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And horizontal is a plane.
In every case, horizontal is perpendicular to vertical.
Okay.
In every case.
And
We have no-
all
we have no
perpendiculars to the horizontal plane will be parallel.
To a horizontal plane, not to all horizontal planes. That's the problem.
No. All perpendiculars to a horizontal plane will be parallel. Yeah?
That would be true, but
Okay.
only one of those verticals is a plumb line.
And this is not an assumption, of course.
Well, I mean, vertical, like Blue has said, vertical, plumb, zenith, and his special force, all the same thing. But now he's saying, Only one. Only one of them can be called plumb. Interesting.
Every other vertical line perpendicular to a horizontal line, except for the one that's a plumb line, will not be plumb lines.
Okay, so there's a special plumb line. On a plane, on a horizontal plane, there's a multitude of verticals that are perpendicular to it. But only one of them, a special one, will be plumb. The special vertical. Now, that's the job of the Blue Marble Geodetic Surveyor. It's finding that one special vertical in a horizontal plane. Hey, Tony. Well done.
Where
Well
it
done.
will
Thank
be
you very much, Tony.
this special.
Tony, who is Tony? Does anyone know who Tony is? Tony's disowned me. Did you own me in the first place, Tony? That's sad that you've had to disown me. For obvious reasons. Yeah, maybe because you didn't own me in the first place. Rather creepy, that, Tony. There are a load of strange people here around. Come on in, Tony. The Discord's open. Click on the link. Pop on in. I don't think we've ever talked. Since you've disowned me, you should be able to talk to us nicely.
In reality, vertical is a plumb line, and there's one and only one of those associated with a horizontal.
See, there's a special vertical that you can call plumb, and there's only one per horizontal plane.
Every other vertical defined as a gravity vector is not going to be perpendicular to that horizontal line.
Do you want to hear that again? Because it got really confusing. These are the dogmatic globe rules for how this works. So take it in. Take it in.
Reality, vertical is a plumb line, and there's one and only one of those associated with a horizontal.
Right, so there's only one plumb associated with a horizontal. Fair enough.
Every other vertical
that would be perpendicular to the horizontal plane,
defined as a gravity vector, is not going to be perpendicular to that horizontal line.
Okay, so the vertical that's defined as a gravity vector is different than the geometric vertical that is perpendicular to horizontal. But there's only one of those verticals that you're allowed to call plumb, which I think is the gravity vector. But if you're calling the vertical a gravity vector, then it's not a plumb to the horizontal plane, i.e. perpendicular to it. Only at one point. And if that sounds like something you want to take on as a model or a framework that you want to be able to be dictated to you by these Blue Marble scientists, well then, be my guest.
All verticals have their own horizontal, Biv.
No. All verticals have their own horizontal, Biv. All horizontals have their own verticals, Bill.
Yes, you could have verticals too. You could have an infinite number of verticals perpendicular to any particular horizontal, but only one of them will be a gravity vector. Only one. One and only one.
Like it's like Highlander, isn't it? There shall be only one. If there were one horizontal plane, then there shall be only one plumb line. Multitude of verticals, but only one special plumb line.
I'm sorry, you can deny it. Stick your head in the sand.
Yeah.
and do all that you like, but it's just nuh-uh.
It is not. I'm sorry. There we go. Blue Marble Science rebuts.
I'm sorry, you can deny it, stick your head in the sand, and do all that you like, but it's just nuh-uh.
It is.
I've got measurements, and it's not just Larry and Jesse.
No.
I showed you measurements. I showed you the
horizontal.
measurements. I showed you the reciprocal zenith angles measured by NOAA. Comes from 1978. We can come up with hundreds, if probably thousands of those.
No, we did it.
Not by Larry or not by Larry or Jesse.
Not by Larry or Jesse.
Yes, thousands.
Yeah, thousands. But you know, like the only ones we've got handy is like there's only Larry left really. There's only Larry that can speak for this, and as you've just heard, he doesn't really say much. It's like it's really confusing what he's talking about.
Yeah, and we have only his, let's say, testimony. Where are these thousands of something?
Why would they want to come into this arena? Right? If they say the wrong thing, Blue Marble scientists will just kick off at them. Tell them that they're wrong. That surveyors are never going to come in. I said that for a long time. The only reason I'm still here is because I'm studying these crazy people. And it was just by fluke that I happened to be. Logos left me with an actual land surveying certificate. Right? I mean, it's not much. It's a dead basic one. I've got other surveying certificates, right? But this one in particular is a land surveying certificate. Now, I don't think they exist anymore. Don't think there's a land surveying certificate. I think it's all turned into geodetic surveying. That's why I keep pointing out that I have a land surveying certificate. And they're really pissed off about it. I can't help it. It's only a basic one, but it just goes to show that I've gone through the basic requirements to understand what surveying is. It's really basic, but the actual principles of geometry that are relied upon within surveying, they're basic too. Really easy to understand.
We have proven that.
You've proven it.
Absolutely. The two plumb lines tilt away from each other.
There you go. Now this statement is like it's a statement of definity. Absolutely, says Blue.
Absolutely. The two plumb lines tilt away from each other.
Two plumb lines tilt away from each other. The implications of that, too much for anybody to contemplate. Even Larry can't speak about it. That's what he was meant to be doing tonight. He was meant to be helping Blue confirm his reciprocal zenith angles thing into a surveying heritage, like to put it into the canon of globe surveying, Blue Marble Science surveying, armchair geodetic surveying. It's ridiculous, but hey, Larry's the guy that needs to speak about it. Jesse Kozlowski's gone. This is all we've got. Sorry about that. I'm pretty sure there's no tilt to either a vertical plumb bob or a horizontal, a level. There's no slope, no tilt, ever.
All I can say, Bev, is that all the measurements ever made disagree with you.
Right, so when I say there's no slope or tilt to a horizontal, and all of the horizontals will be perpendicular to vertical plumb bobs, Blue Marble says all of the measurements disagree with me. Listen to this for a whole entire clip. This is Blue Marble Science speaking for the Blue Marble, right? This is dogmatic. This is what Blue Marble says. Listen to what I say. Listen to what he says. I'm pretty sure there's no tilt to either a vertical plumb bob or a horizontal, a level. There's
I'm-
no slope, no tilt, ever.
All I can say, Bev, is that all the measurements ever made disagree with you.
All of the measurements ever made. Now, that's quite a definitive statement, isn't it?
Yeah. And he should show.
All I said, there was no tilt to a plumb bob or no slope to a horizontal. I mean, and Blue Marble says every measurement ever made, all of the measurements ever made disagree with those two things. No tilt to a plumb line and no slope to a horizontal. Blue Marble science.
So where is this abundance of evidence for that? What he said should be tons of examples.
I think Larry Scott was meant to be doing that tonight, wasn't he? That's what Larry's job
but
was.
this is only Larry and only one example, but there are tons everywhere.
Yeah, every measurement that's ever been made. Rise over run, apparently. Even though the rise and the run are horizontals and verticals, and there'll be no tilt or slope to any of that. Otherwise, they wouldn't be horizontal and vertical. Hey, it's Blue Marble science. He knows much more about this. Apparently, I don't know anything. I'm only the guy with the land surveying certificate. That's it. That's just me. Blue Marble, on the other hand, loads no.
Those plumb lines are always diverging. Always.
Plumb lines are always diverging, apart from if you're on the top of them.
But your plumb bobs on whiteboard, they are not diverging, I think. So not all. You have black
vertical.
swan.
Yeah. They're both perpendicular to level, right?
Yes.
Level straight.
So his statement is false because you have black swan on your whiteboard.
There's not a single case where you see the verticals parallel with each other or converging. They always diverge.
See, now, I don't want to say that Blue's pretty fucking ignorant of it, right? I want to hear that again? Because, I mean, there's not one case, says Blue.
There's not a single case where you see the verticals parallel with each other or converging. They always diverge.
Yes, so you cannot see. You can always see that they diverge. This is just not true. You cannot see that.
Well, if they did diverge, you would be able to see that they converge as well, wouldn't you?
Yeah, because they diverge in one direction and
Converge in the other.
In the other.
So
yes.
how can Blue say that you would never see the converging, right? You always see the diverging. That's fucking ridiculous.
Yes,
Isn't
this
it?
is nonsense, complete nonsense.
I'm hoping everybody else can see that, right? That's Blue Marble Science is just talking shit. I mean, you take him as an authority if you want, but I mean, they are perpendicular to horizontal. So if you have a horizontal and you have two verticals that are perpendicular to it, then they're perpendicular. They're not converging or diverging. So how could you always see them diverging? It's just ridiculous. It gets even worse. This.
Now, we don't do this sort of thing over just a few hundred feet or a mile or two, because the amount of tilt is not, the amount that they diverge is not enough to really get you up out of the noise. But when you go 10 miles away or 20 miles or 30 miles away, then you see it.
See what a tilt. Once you go 20 miles away, you see it.
Yeah, 20 miles away, yeah. You cannot see
You can't
that,
see it
of
when
course.
it's close up, right? No, you can't see it there. You have to go miles away
Yeah.
from it.
Yeah, then you can see.
You can see it.
Ti-
That makes
tilting
complete
away
sense.
in
Yeah.
the best condition, tilting away. So for me, you cannot see the tilt because this is tilting away. So you can still see. In that case, you would see still as vertical because you cannot see tilting away. You can see in orthographic view tilting right or left. Yes, that you would see, but not away. Away you cannot see in perspective. But still, okay, this is blue marble science logic. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had
Illogic. Go
a
on.
minute. My brother just called. He just got back from Japan.
Nice.
Yeah, he's got toys and candy for my. But at least he didn't get killed by the Yakuzas. Well, my brother's a bit of a drinker, right? And he went to Japan, and I'm like, you going to Japan with 5 of your buddies doesn't sound like a good idea. But he made it back, so I'm happy.
Good. Good for your brother as well.
Yeah, he's never gone anywhere, right? And he actually went to Japan, which I wouldn't mind going to Japan either. That sounds
Yeah.
pretty cool. Anyways, I'm back. Sorry, I missed
All
a
right.
few minutes.
No problem. We're just going over a few clips of a vertical
The lines,
tilt of a horizontal.
the plumb lines are diverging. They're tilting away from each other. In fact, every vertical is tilting away from every other vertical.
Well, like we said, there is at the other end of these tilting away, where they, if lines are tilting away, then they eventually come together. That's it's the triangle axiom.
Yeah. Diverging in one direction, converging in other direction. Yeah.
Yeah. The road up is the road down. A basic tenet of logic that Blue doesn't really seem to notice.
It all starts at one center point at the middle of the earth.
See, it starts at one center point, but going there isn't diverging.
Yes, it is converging to a point. Yeah. To
So
a
he does
center.
know that the point's there, the monad, right? But he doesn't
Yeah.
see it. He's away from it. He can't look at it. Right? He's always looking away from it. It's always behind him. It's always, that's why he can only see it diverging.
Yeah. Oh, now I understand. He's seeing things through that monad.
Through the monad. Yeah, he's
Right,
at
yes.
the monad, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So everything is diverging, of course.
Yeah. Has to be, because that's where he is. He's like in his mind, he's there at the center already. But verticals don't tilt. There's no.
Certainly they do. With
See, certainly they do.
respect to each other, absolutely they do. The measurements prove it.
See, the measurements prove to blue marble science that the verticals tilt. Of course.
Which ones?
The measurements.
Measure.
Larry.
Yes.
Larry.
But
Larry,
didn't he-
come on, come Larry. Come on, Larry. Come on,
Didn't
man.
he say that? Didn't he say the plumb lines tilt, but the
Yeah.
verticals don't tilt? But now the verticals do tilt.
Well, one of the vertical. Yeah, he gets confused, doesn't he? Because he did say that vertical, plumb, zenith, and his magical force. All of them are exactly the same, just vertical. Yeah,
But then he said there was only one plumb that
The
was
special one.
perpendicular to the special plumb. And the verticals would all be perpendicular to horizontal. They're not the non-special ones.
yeah.
They would all be perpendicular to horizontal and obviously parallel to each other. But then he just said all the verticals tilt.
They have to, yeah. They're divergent as well at the same time. We were
Is he
talking
sure?
about
I mean,
Nico,
does he?
the geometric vertical horizontal relationship, and then there's the special monad dogmatic version that says not that.
Yes, but this is convoluted slightly because you know we don't understand that when he's talking about this vertical, uh, which is mm, of course parallel to this special vertical, but is not perpendicular to other horizontal. He didn't speak about that yet, but he thinks that this not special vertical is special vertical on different horizontal. You know, this is just maybe this is spherical geometry. I don't know, but
I don't think so. I think this is just this is imaginometry, right?
yes,
It's just
yeah,
this is Blue Marble's
sure.
special imaginometry. It's how he imagines it all working, and I'm thanking him for voicing his opinions for this sort of stuff. It takes a while for people to open up about their monad.
Yeah, open your mind to
Yeah.
the monad.
Yeah, Akumu virus. Yes, we don't need to say it loud. We'd be saying it all the time. The Earth is not flat. Obviously not flat. The real globe is where we're at. Come on in, have a chat. You'll find that we are not flat earthers. Never have been. Some of us may have been. I don't know. I haven't.
In name only, it's not flat.
Yeah, so this is name, and I am not I don't consider myself as flat earther.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter if, for me personally, if someone is calling me flat earther. But
people call me flat earther as well all the time, right?
yeah, so
now there
I
are
don't
certain
care.
things that you get named as a flat earther just as a sort of insult. Like people use it as an
Maybe.
insult. Well, I'm not a flat earther, but I've got nothing against people that call themselves flat earthers.
Yeah,
Yeah, you let me in here every day.
Mm. I've got nothing against people that call themselves globe earthers. I know that we all live in reality. It doesn't make any difference, whatever anybody wants to call themselves. As long as we can talk about reality, that's fine. You're mad, Wally.
The horizontal doesn't exist. The gravity vector does.
There you go. Okay, well, listen to that.
Horizontal doesn't exist. The gravity vector does. Horizontal is something that is derived from the vertical, and it is set to be 90 degrees exactly.
Yeah, it's
wait a
perpendicular.
second.
It doesn't exist, but it's
He
perpendicular
said
to vertical.
yes. So he said that horizontal doesn't exist.
Doesn't
He
exist,
said
but
that.
it does exist at the same time.
This is ontological contradiction. So sorry.
Wow.
It cannot be and not to be. Be or not to be. Yeah. Hamlet.
Object.
Okay.
Of course it can. It's definitely not logic, the law of non-contradiction, but the law of contradiction always applies, I think.
And therefore, the theodolite, or the autolevel, is establishing a horizontal plane of reference. No two ways about it.
So it doesn't exist, but the theodolite or the autolevel establishes a horizontal plane whilst not existing.
So it establishes and doesn't establish at the same time. So yeah, that's great logic.
That's
Logic.
dogmatic globe, right? It's what you have to be able to believe. You have to hold these contradictory thoughts. I mean, you couldn't have a globe model. You couldn't have a dogmatic globe model without these contradictions. It's one of the ways that we know that it's definitely a dogmatic globe model is through these contradictions that Blue Marble's taken us through.
Yes, and Blue Marble science is discovering his principles of his logic. So this is very, very interesting to hear.
Yeah, when you get a chance to pick out all of these little bits.
Yes, but minor mistakes, but generally it's a great story. He's telling great story.
I don't give a crap about a 2-peg test. I'm talking about
That doesn't give a crap about a 2-peg test. That's only how you make sure that the auto level is horizontal, right? But like he told you tonight, you don't give a shit about 2-peg test. Just flip the scope over, right?
Because it is not on globe model, the dogmatic globe model. It is in reality. So
Yeah, the
yes, so
horizontal doesn't actually exist. While the tools establish the horizontal, it doesn't exist. So why do you need to check it? You don't give a shit about a 2-peg test.
well, it doesn't fit the model. So
Yeah, we don't
why
need that.
why we bother?
Yeah. Yes.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Check. Yeah, right. Check. You got it.
Okay.
Yes, you check it. Let's say we've checked.
Check it. That's for the song. That. Listen,
Okay.
Yes, you check it.
Check.
Let's
you check it. Yes, you check it. That's Blue Marble. He's gonna be cool. He's gonna be in with the kids. Check it. Buster singing and Blue Marble in the background. Check it, Buster. Check it. Check it.
and I've shown it to you. In fact, I can go find it somewhere, but you've seen that before. I've shown it to you before.
Told you he was dumb.
Yeah. I'll get it now. Well, you've seen it before anyway. Never mind. That's a typical. Oh, what's that there? No.
You see what that in the distance,
Hang on,
Bill?
yeah.
You telling me that's water?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You're actually
Is
going
it?
to try to tell me that crap you're seeing that above your head is water?
Yes, it is.
Yep. The true horizon.
I don't believe
blue.
you.
I know.
Believe you, Bill.
You don't believe very much.
I don't believe you.
Yeah.
That's not water.
I know, it's amazing, isn't it? Couldn't be, could it? It's not possible. It is not possible. Impossible, isn't it, Blue?
Then that's got to be huge waves. Turn the video on and let's see the waves move around.
Under the horizon. Check it out. One of the best videos you'll ever see.
This is how very long focal. This is how things in distance look like. So perspective is going or getting more, let's say, flat. You cannot see these angles like in close distance. They are, yes, things are looking like on the plane more. So this is like flattening a perspective. And that's why it looks like literally that this land is, let's say, more vertical, and this surface of water, which is planar and horizontal, yes, that looks like that. And this water is horizontal.
Big gap.
You don't have a horizontal plane rising, Bev. You have a level line which is dropping away from you.
Level line that's dropping away from you.
Dumb.
Not the horizontal rising, right? So in a bit, Blue Marble's going to start talking about Blackpool like he did tonight again. So if the horizontal isn't rising, Blackpool's lower then, right?
Yeah, that should be it. Yeah.
Absolutely. So how do you know Blackpool's not lower? Blue?
What a stupid question.
Well,
What are you, some kind of idiot?
but this is, it contradicts their level being equidistant and curved at the same time. You cannot have that. So this is problem.
Yeah,
Because
this is
he
a
has
big
to
problem.
say that it is lower, but it is not lower at
It's
the
not
same
lower.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
when you're asking him how come it's not lower? Because when he says things like this,
You don't have a horizontal plane rising, Bev. You have a level line which is dropping away from you.
dropping away from you. But so it's not rising, it is actually dropping.
Yes.
But
so
why does it
dropping
look
from
like it's
horizontal.
ramping up then? Oh, that's how it looks. I get it. But
You're only
actually, all
about a
that
mi-
water's under your feet.
You're only about a mile away, and you're already disappearing bottom up.
Not yet. Not yet. You are not disappearing
With the
bottom up yet.
horizon above my head. Literally, Blue Marble is crazy. It says, I'm
clip that.
already disappearing. Yeah, that is one of the clips. In the picture, he says, I'm disappearing bottom up with the horizon behind me above my head.
Yeah.
Crazy. Now there's a little bit
Sorry,
of a...
Bev. I can't
Blue.
make any sense out of this.
You can't make any sense out of it. If you want to do a globe as heading, show him that video. Ask him how there's the water above my head.
Yeah, but this is footage from your
Not only
excursion
sorry.
to Southport. Yeah, so
Yeah, not
this
only
is-
that, but Bev's disappearing bottom up.
for
Into
me,
the
he is not
second horizon,
disappearing.
the one that's below the other horizon.
So we have Earth horizon and water horizon, and Beth is
A true horizon, underneath true horizon.
between them. Yeah.
Mental.
Oh, it's on the beach.
Or you're going over the curve of the Earth, which is unbelievable at a mile.
See, he thinks I'm going over the curve of the earth.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
What about curve of the water? This is hump within hump. So we have Earth hump and water hump on top of the Earth hump.
Yeah.
So 2 humps.
Completely fits, right? He can't make any sense out of it. His head's done. He's done his head in, even looking at it. Can't make any sense out of it.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
I like those clips. That's going in the Buster song.
Is it possible to make the line horizontal? Yes, you can set your auto level, or you can set up an auto level and do that, or you can set the theodolite at 90 degrees and do that. Yes, you can.
So you can set the horizontal. Thank you very much, Blue.
Question is, Blue, can you make a line from A to B? Can you make that horizontal with 0 slope?
As long as A and B, no, you can't.
You can, yeah, because it is rising, because horizontal has to be rising. Yeah. This is logic.
Go do this again, right? Listen to this. Imagine you're just out anywhere and you've got this thing, just A and B, right? Can you make that line horizontal?
Question is, Blue, can you make a line from A to B? Can you make that horizontal with 0 slope?
As long as A and B, no, you can't.
As long as, like, there's a little bit of processing that goes on, and then he's like,
Yes.
no.
So he realized.
Processor burnt out right there.
Yes, he said that as long as A to B, and he realized that that would not fit the globe model. So no, you cannot.
Yeah.
You cannot.
So you can't have a horizontal line. That's it. From A to B.
Yeah.
2 points. Can't be horizontal. It's not allowed.
Yeah. So this is one orientation that you cannot have. Just it.
It's gone.
Erased from,
Yeah.
let's say, dictionary.
And this is if you've got a dogmatic load model, this is dogma. This is Blue Marble Science has said it. You have to go along with it. You can't go against Blue Marble Science now. You can't have a horizontal. Not available.
We're talking about a level line and a horizontal line, and the two are not the same. Yeah, and that's the problem you've got.
Okay. So like, we've got a problem. Blue Marble Science can't have a horizontal. And he thinks we've got a problem.
Yeah, this is not his problem, but ours. Yeah. He took away from us horizontal, and now
you have a
what
problem.
would we do? What would you do? Without I took away from you horizontal.
The state of modern day debate, Blue Marble Science, taking away horizontal from a geometric argument just because he doesn't like it. Doesn't work on his model. Can't have it. You can't have it if it don't work on his model.
All horizontals are parallel to one plane of the horizon. There are an absolute infinite number of horizons, planes of the horizon.
We call them plane of the horizon, though, right? Whenever you establish a horizontal, it will be parallel to the plane of the horizon in front of you.
At that point.
The plane of...
So I'm saying when you establish a horizontal, and he doesn't have a problem with that, even though he's just said you can't have a horizontal.
Yes, but he said that you can't have plane over the horizon. He said at that point, of course, but plane is a plane. Plane is not at a point. Because horizon is like a few miles away from you. So even given this circle or whatever they think it is, or it would be, this is still a plane, at least few with radius of few miles. So not a point. So it doesn't work.
Of
At
the
that
horizon
point. And as
to
soon
the
as you
left
move
of
to a
you,
different
the
point,
plane of the horizon to the
No, it
right
is.
of you,
It's not
the
the
plane of
same.
the horizon behind you, because you will
I
be
just proved that
establishing a
they're
plane.
not. I just proved that they're not the same.
He just proved. He just proved they're not the same.
Then yes, horizontals would be parallel to each other, but not planar.
Yes, he proved because he has drawn blue marble with diverging something and 2 points, red dots. Yes, so this is his proof.
Listen what he says. Listen.
Then yes, horizontals would be parallel to each other, but not planar.
So horizontals would be parallel to each other, but not planar. So what's a horizontal that's not planar?
Not planar in that case, because I always want to make sense even if someone is talking without sense. So the only thing it comes to my mind is that this horizontal would be not fully within the plane. So it has to leave this plane, the horizon. So horizon should leave.
No, he doesn't say horizon. He says horizontals, not horizon. Don't mix up horizon with horizontals.
I know, but he said that horizontals are not planar.
Yeah.
So they are leaving horizontal plane that you establish from horizon. So because this horizontal plane would be parallel to the plane of the horizon.
Yeah, he says that it would be parallel. Horizontals would be parallel, but not planar. So I think he's sphericalizing horizontals and thinking
Yes.
that concentric circles could be planar.
Yes, and parallel.
Yeah, I think that's what parallel means to them. I think it's just of an equal distance away. And they think concentric circles fit that bill. In Globgic, right? Imaginometry, you can allow yourself to believe that a concentric circle is. Wait, it never touches, does it? If you know, it
Yes,
fits
but-
that property. It doesn't do the straight line bit.
Yes, yes. They will never meet, of course, but still.
Yeah, I don't want to speak for him. I'll just let you hear what he says.
Level, then yes, horizontals would be parallel to each other, but not planar.
Uh-huh.
You can't have you cannot have a third horizontal line lying in the same plane.
mm.
Do you want to
So
let me go back because just give you context from this, right? Just to because that was a bit weird, wasn't it?
Level, then
Yeah.
yes, horizontals would
context.
be parallel to each other, but not planar.
Not planar, did you
They
say?
will not be in the same plane. No,
A
they will not.
horizontal plane will be.
It's not as hard. I'm thinking about horizontal lines now. You can have horizontal lines.
All the
perpendicular to
horizontal
a
lines will be
any great
contained
circle, and
within the
all
horizontal
those
plane.
lines along that great circle will be parallel to each other, but no
You've
two
lost
of
me,
them will
Blue.
be in.
I don't know what you're talking about. Circles. We're talking about a
Only
horizontal
two of them
plane.
could ever lie in a plane.
Only two of them could lie in a plane. Only two
Yeah,
horizontal lines.
You can't have a third. You cannot have a third horizontal line lying in the same plane.
Is that any clearer? I don't think so. I
It's
can't
worse.
tell what the fuck he's
Yes.
talking about. It's terrible, isn't it? Like that's
Because
definitely an exploded mind there.
Yes, because when he was talking about these two lines that would be horizontal, I cannot imagine which two.
He meant
Because-
on a great circle, he said.
Yes, but he was talking about plane, so they are not within the plane. Because he said first that they were the only two of them would be on the plane, but this is not a plane when he is talking about circles. So his great circle is a plane now. I don't
I
know.
haven't got a clue what's going on. This is for anybody. If you're out there, if there is anybody that can make any sense of this blue marble science, because I think this is what happens, right? Blue marble science, the scientific group of people, not the actual guy that you're talking to here, but the blue marble science team. They have to go along with this sort of stuff. And if there is anybody of those scientists out there that can attempt to explain what the fuck Blue's talking about here, about these, which horizontals can be in what plane and whether horizontals can exist or not, whether they're real. I mean, I don't know. He seems to have two of them now. I think he's getting lost. I think it might be, that age that people come to where they start being a little bit forgetful. Their mind wanders, perhaps. Maybe they've been drinking tap water. Who knows?
Or else.
Oh, yeah. Or for however many years. Maybe they've been eating fluoride like it's a food group. You never know.
I don't think you understand it.
I
Here we go.
Here we go.
That's a horizontal plane that you're talking about. And if you're talking about the
Okay.
geometric understanding of the perpendiculars to that horizontal plane, then surely they're vertical.
Surely they're not.
Hear that again? Listen to me.
That's a horizontal plane that you're talking about. And if you're talking about the
Okay.
geometric understanding of the perpendiculars to that horizontal plane, then surely they're vertical.
Surely they're not.
Perpendicular to a horizontal plane. Surely,
so-
surely they're vertical, right?
But this is another inconsistency, because if he is saying that verticals are diverging or converging or whatever, so he's saying that parallel to vertical cannot be vertical. So that's it. They cannot be parallel.
Yeah.
So he's removing parallelism from vertical.
I think I'm beginning to notice. I think been talking about this. Don't know how many people. There's only 14 people watching. That's all right. There is the end conspiracy. You know, the biggest conspiracy that you could ever go to. You've heard about the moon landing, flat Earth, all of that sort of stuff. This is it. Vertical, horizontal, perpendicular. This is where their problems are. It's a massive problem. It's one of the biggest conspiracy. I mean, I don't have it myself. I'm not into all of these conspiracies. I live in reality. But there are a group of people who are out there that they can't go with perpendicular. Vertical and horizontal, the perpendicularity. That's a conspiracy. A closely guarded conspiracy that they don't like to tell people about. That's what we're dealing with. You can hear it coming out in Blue Marble Science. You can't have vertical and horizontal being perpendicular. Expressed in this. Here, listen to him. Listen to me talking about the geometric understanding of horizontal and vertical.
That's a horizontal plane that you're talking about. And if you're talking about the
Okay.
geometric understanding of the perpendiculars to that horizontal plane, then surely they're vertical.
Surely they're not. Only one of them is.
Only one. There can be only one vertical that's perpendicular to a horizontal.
Okay, but it means that if you are standing on that vertical, so you have this plumb bob above your head, so you are moving this special one vertical with you. So this location where you were, it was vertical, but as you are moving away from this position, so this position, originally your position, is no longer vertical. So it's just, it depends where you are. If you are at this location, it is vertical. But if you move, let's say, some distance away from that position, so the same position you were is no longer vertical. This is what he's saying.
I think so, yeah. With respect to wherever you are, all of the other verticals tilt.
Yeah, they cease to be vertical.
Yeah. Except
Moving
where
one-
you are, that is perpendicular, right there. Nowhere
Yes,
else.
you move one step forward or left or right.
I'll
I'm
take it with
in
me.
new place. I have new vertical, original, but this old one is no longer vertical.
To you. But if somebody else is
Yeah.
over there,
Yeah,
then it
yeah.
is. It stays vertical to them. But
Yeah,
as you move, it's not then vertical to you.
Yes, so you can argue. Mine
Yeah,
is
no,
original.
mine
No, no,
was
no.
mine's
Mine
the
is
real vertical. I have the one vertical right here. No, no, no. I have it too.
Are you trying to say that you can have other lines that are perpendicular to that horizontal plane? I will say absolutely you can. Not a one of them meets the description of vertical.
But vertical is perpendicular to the horizontal.
No,
So
not
they
by the
would meet
definition.
that
No, Bev,
description.
not by the definition that vertical is a plumb line.
So vertical is a plumb line. Is different than vertical is the same as a plumb line. Which he's also said many times. Vertical, zenith, plumb, and the magical force. All exactly the same. They all mean the same thing. Except when blue doesn't want them to mean the same thing. And then plumb's different. Now, like I keep saying, this may be what Blue Marble Science says, but Blue Marble Science speaks for the Blue Marble Scientist. He's called Blue Marble Science because he is the big guy. He's the man. He's the authority on the blue marble, especially the scientific group of people. He's the head honcho. There is none blue marble sciencer. There's nobody more science than blue marble science. He's the leader of it. What he says has to go. You can't go against it, so be aware. These are the things that you have to incorporate into your understanding. Now, if you go against any of these things, then you can be upsetting them, and you don't want to be upsetting a blue marble scientist. They'll tell you you're a science denier. There's no,
As we've
you
just shown
can't
you.
tilt verticals.
They did, Bev.
They did, Bev. There's no,
As we've
you
just shown
can't
you.
tilt verticals.
They did, Bev.
They did. They did.
When?
They did. So, okay, blue marble scientists have tilted verticals.
You guys gotta stop saying Bev.
Bev.
That's all I
I
can
like
hear
it,
now. Bev.
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 There's loads of it.
That's all I hear.
Do you
That's
imagine?
all I hear now.
this is I'm not familiar with American accents, but this is Texas accent or way of speaking.
It's hillbilly, I think. Typical hillbilly. Blackpool Tower's got a tilt to it.
8 arc minutes.
8 arc minutes.
Over 10 miles.
10 miles.
Actually, nine arc minutes.
Is that about how far you reckon Blackpool Tower would be tilting?
Well, you're 13 miles away. Yeah, it's probably tilted by 10 arc minutes.
So Blackpool Tower now tilted. It's tilted.
Yeah, it has to be. Yeah, you cannot see that because it is tilting away, but still, it has
It's
to
tilted. Yeah. Blackpool Tower tilts. I bet you didn't know that, did you? They built it in there because it's obviously blue marble science. He's been checked it. He's seen a picture of it.
Yeah, that it's vertical. Would be leaning away from you.
Its vertical would be leaning and tilting.
Of course.
Of course. Its vertical would be tilted.
Yes, but on this picture where you are, and Blackpool Tower is in the background, so you may say that you are tilting from Blackpool Tower. So I don't know, but if Blackpool Tower is vertical, so you are tilting. You have to
Something's
check
tilted somehow.
if you were tilting next time.
I know what you were doing, and I don't care what you were doing. You're
I know now. You were tilting.
I know what you were doing, and I don't care what you were doing.
I know what you were doing, and I don't care what you were doing. It's a bit shame you brought it up.
And we went there to show that there are charlatans out there that claim that they can do impossible things. There's quite a few of them. They're growing. There's more. Like people that claim they can measure the tilt of a vertical.
Well,
Ridiculous.
I just showed you how they can. And those
It's
theodolites they're
impossible, Blue.
using. No, it's not impossible, Bev. It's very possible.
It's not impossible, babe. To measure the tilt of a vertical is not impossible, says Blue. Blue
Yes,
Marble Science is one of the top, man.
Yes, and I would argue that it is completely impossible,
Yeah.
even if it was true.
It's always tilting away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you cannot see that.
I know
You cannot
Buster's been through it the weekend. I think Saturday, Monday morning. We were actually talking to them over at Geo's about this. We've been talking to Buster's been going over it specifically. How
Yes,
to test this.
You have to have this in orthographic view. One, let's say pole or whatever, tilting to the right, and one to the left. And you have to have this span of like in the horizon line, let's say, like 60 miles to see 1 degree. So it is impossible.
Well, all of the verticals would be perpendicular to the plane of the horizon.
Yeah.
So that would be in front of you, behind you, to the left of you, to the right of you. And if all of those are perpendicular to the plane of the horizon, then they are, well...
Yes, but I'm even
perpendiculars to the plane.
Even assuming
parallel,
their
right?
model, even on their model, it is not measurable.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot measure it. So when he's saying this word measurement, it is impossibility, physical impossibility.
Yeah, they were telling us over at the weekend, even with all of their guys. So I don't know where Blue Marble's got that from, but hey, it's Blue Marble. I'm sure he's got some friends. He's got Larry to help him.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely measure
You
it.
can measure the tilt of a vertical.
They did.
Can you measure the slope of a horizontal?
And you measure the slope of a horizontal. Again, now we're getting into the semantics here. What are you calling a horizontal?
But you've got a tilting. So we're getting into the semantics, says Blue, and then asks what you're calling a horizontal. As if that's not going to be a semantic argument. Who doesn't know what horizontal is? Crazy. Crazy.
The two verticals, the two lines have to be diverging. That's the only way it can happen.
And the line
can't
between
be
them
anything
cannot
else.
be horizontal, right?
No, it won't be.
So there you go. That's the argument that we've been talking about just recently. If you've got two verticals, you can't make one horizontal line between them. It's not possible. Can't do it. Can't do it.
So no horizontal lines and no verticals, because there is only one. So we have one vertical line and a horizontal point along this vertical line. So this is what model dictates. So where is this plane of the horizon? Disappears.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Model dictates. Kumu virus is in the chat. I don't think you're quite understanding this, Kumu, how bad this is. I know you're making your own justification for your model, but Blue's exposing a massive weakness within it. And I fear for people. I would say if you hold a dogmatic globe model, don't listen to this at all, because this is going to be bad. Once you realize the stupid shit that you have to say in order to go along with this dogmatic model, then, well, if anything that Blue Marble says sounds a little bit fucking weird, be aware that Blue Marble is saying everything that has to be said for the dogmatic globe model. This is what you're going to have to go with. Have to. And it's all going to keep coming up because we're just going to keep piling it on.
Why is
You
that?
can't point the two theodolites at each other and have either one of them horizontal.
How long? You cannot point two theodolites at each other and have either one of them horizontal. You want to hear that again? Because, I mean, that might be surprising, that.
But even on Blue Marble science, what we saw tonight before the stream, there were three theodolites close to each other. And assuming that they were oriented horizontally, it means that you can have device being horizontal, looking at each other. So I don't know what he's talking about.
No. Listen to it again, though.
Why is
You
that?
can't point the two theodolites at each other and have either one of them horizontal.
There you go. That's true. You can't have it. You can't do it on the globe. On the dogmatic globe model, it's not possible to do it. Don't bother asking surveyors whether it is possible to do, because that might ruin it. If you've got a dogmatic globe model, just go with what Blue Marble says and do not bother talking to surveyors. Just go along with it. Don't worry about it.
So you cannot have two auto levels because it would invalidate your calibration. So if one auto level is calibrated,
You can't check
and
one
is
with the other.
horizontal, yeah, you cannot have the second because it would invalidate. Having the second would invalidate your
Yeah.
calibration.
If by any chance you are a dogmatic globe believer and you check your auto levels with another auto level and it confirms that it's horizontal, then you'd have to throw it away. Say it's broken. It couldn't happen. Get rid of it. It's impossible. How could that happen? You'd be a nightmare to work at the calibration centre, wouldn't you? We've got another one. It's broke again.
Yeah. In fact, all of them.
Yeah, every one that ever comes there.
It has to be only one in the center. Yes.
How big is a cloud, Bev?
Cloud. Oh,
How big is a cloud? Bill.
I don't even understand what you're getting at. What horizontal line? How long is what horizontal line?
Okay.
Well, the horizontal line that Larry and Jesse used was about 11.2 miles.
Okay.
Now,
Not horizontal.
that horizontal
This-
line,
not horizontal.
Yeah, a horizontal line was 11 miles, but not horizontal.
Yes,
Yeah, that makes sense. Larry and Jesse had a horizontal line that was 11.2 miles long, but not horizontal. He did say that. There we go. Listen.
Well, the horizontal line that Larry and Jesse used was about 11.2 miles.
Okay.
now,
Not horizontal.
that horizontal
The distance-
line,
Not horizontal.
A horizontal line he used was not horizontal, but it was 11.2 miles long.
You know, but Yes, every line is horizontal, but you have to choose a point of
Somewhere.
horizontally very carefully. Yes, because there is only one point which is really horizontal. So
And you check that by waving a plumb bob over the top of it, I think.
yeah. So yes. So
The plumb bobs always point to the horizontal point.
yeah, yes, of course. Yes, you are right. And therefore, there is only one point. So you have to go along this not horizontal line and with plumb bob and check where,
Check where
where
the horizontal
it
points
is-
are.
Yeah, yeah.
Only on the dogmatic globe, I must point out to everyone. Don't worry about it. Like, if you're living in reality and on the real globe, then this is just a comedy routine that Blue Marble's taken us through. Don't worry about it. There's nothing to fear.
Okay,
You
how
point the
long
satellite
can a
at each
horizontal
other.
be then, Blue?
Bev, that question makes no damn sense.
Makes no sense. How long can a horizontal be? So don't ask a Blue Marble scientist how long can a horizontal be, because it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I can explain that because a point
It's
has
a
no
point.
length.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a point. It doesn't exist. That of which has no parts.
I'm not going along with it then. Nope. The answer is no, you can't.
Okay. No, I had to clip a load of bits out of this.
Perpendicular to the horizontal is called vertical. And you've got
Nope.
two.
I will not go along with that, Bev. You're not going
Okay.
to play that game.
You can't play the perpendicular game with Blue. Telling you. I'll tell you, this conspiracy theory's getting legs, isn't it? It's got some legs. Can't play the perpendicular game with vertical and horizontal. Not with a Blue Marble scientist. It's one game that they don't want to play. I have to play that one again, because...
Perpendicular to the horizontal is called vertical. And you've got
Nope.
two.
I will not go along with that, Bev. You're not going
Okay.
to play that game.
He's too smart.
Yeah,
you
he's
are
silly,
trying
like, he's not
to
having
trick him, and he's too smart. Definitely.
the end game conspiracy, I'm telling you. Perpendicular, horizontal and vertical.
Is that
No, sir.
because it's horizontal?
It's because there is only one point. If
Mm-hmm.
that is truly a horizontal line, it is only perpendicular to vertical at the center of it. No
Okay.
place else.
So it's only perpendicular.
Center of the line, yeah.
Center of the line. Or plane.
I'll play, yeah.
Yep. Even though the plane's infinite, but you've got to find the center. It's tricky, right? If you go with the thingy rules, but if you go with the rules that you get a plumb bob out, and the plumb bob finds the horizontal points, finds all of them.
It is even more tricky if this horizontal is big circle, because where to find the center of this big circle? That's the problem.
A horizontal point finder.
Yeah, like this wands they are using to find water
Yeah.
underneath the earth.
The dowsing rods. Yeah. Horizontal point finder. I like that. I'll have to tell Spot on about that. So,
Of course, you can have a horizontal line, Bev, but
how long
horizontal
then?
is only perpendicular to vertical at one point.
but you can have a horizontal line, but it's only perpendicular at one point. Of course.
Everybody knows that horizontal and vertical are perpendicular to each other at one point.
No.
Everybody won't.
Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. Just 1 point. Only one. Just one. Everybody knows. I bet a Kumu virus knows it.
Can you have a vertical plane?
Can you have a vertical plane? Sure,
Yes.
you can have a vertical plane.
Okay, now
Sure,
can you have a perpendicular to the vertical plane?
Yes, you could.
And that would be a horizontal line, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So you can have a horizontal being perpendicular to vertical across the entirety of the vertical plane.
Just a moment.
Oh, wait a minute.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Hold
on.
he
Hold
has
on.
to reconsider.
Hey,
yeah.
what? Mulligan.
Not
Mulligan time.
That's serious, right? He'd never considered the vertical plane. After reducing the horizontal plane to the point, it suddenly
Yes.
dawned upon the blue marble scientist
Yes,
that vertical planes were under jeopardy.
yes, because you cannot have. In fact, in their model, you cannot have a vertical plane.
Yeah,
It is impossible.
it's gone
because
as well.
Vertical line is only vertical at one point, so you cannot extend it into plane. Simple.
It's a pretty good clip, that, as well. Listen to his response.
yeah.
I'll start
yeah.
again. Can you
Mulligan's
have
time,
a
because
vertical
You're
plane?
playing a shitty game here, Bev, and I don't like it very
No,
much.
I'm just asking you. Can you have a vertical plane?
Forget about the planes. Talk about lines.
Ah,
No.
he even says mulligan time because you're playing shitty word games, Bev.
Yeah, so this is
Talking
Not-
about
Wait.
vertical plane.
Wait. But don't all lines lie within a plane?
Absolutely.
yes, they should, but
In
you know,
Euclidean or normal geometry, right? Yes. But we're outside the realms of blue marble science, right? Blue marble science justifies contradictions that they find. The blue marble scientists gather together to accept contradictions and incorporate them into their model. That's what your job is, to go and find out the contradictions. These blue marble scientists call your names, say you're stupid, say you don't understand it, and they incorporate this contradiction into their dogmatic model. We're just seeing it right now. That they are literally going to incorporate this non-planar state. The geometry and the understanding of that has been blue marble scienced, and this is what's occurring at the minute. Blue marble science and the blue marble scientists are going to work to fix geometry. It doesn't work within their reality, within the blue marble dogmatic model. So they're fixing it to make it work. It's a tricky job.
Stop the plane bullshit. Let's go back to Euclid. We're talking about lines, not planes.
I mean, do you want to?
what's
Stop
the
the plane
difference? It should
bullshit.
be not a difference.
Let's go back to Euclid. We're talking about lines, not planes.
This is where Rob should come in again now.
Now we are talking about lines, not points.
No. Lines, not planes.
All lines lie within the plane.
Yeah. He said, let's go back to Euclid. We're not talking about planes. We were talking about lines, not planes. But
I told you he's dumb.
you need the plane for the line to lie within.
Yeah, of course, but
Blues
he has,
lost it.
but he got allergy to planes, so you couldn't
Yeah.
follow that topic.
He thinks he can go back to Euclid to get rid of the plane. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
that's
strange.
terrible, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Stop the plane bullshit. Let's go back to Euclid.
there's no
We're
planes
talking
there.
about
Don't worry
lines,
about it.
not
Safe there.
planes.
Safe.
Well, that's
I don't want to
Euclid as
play
well.
this game with
Book
you.
11. So it may be a
Book
bit
11.
advanced for you, the book 11.
I don't think it's too advanced for me.
Well, it's
friend.
planes. That's what he's
think it may
talking
be
about.
I'm
Planes.
talking
It's the
about
3D.
lines, Bev. Book 1, Proposition 29. Stick to it.
So he's telling me to stick to book 1, Proposition 29. There is parallel lines, right? And the definition of parallel lines are straight lines that lie within the same plane. So within the very definition of the proposition that he's using and telling me to stick to, states that within the same plane. Euclid requires a plane for you to be able to do geometry on. Like the mathematical realm requires a triangle to be in a plane, a circle, a square. Plane figures. You can't get rid of the plane to have the line. But this is blue marble science.
Proposition 29 specifically. Nothing else. Not planes, just lines.
See, he's unaware of it. Completely unaware of the predicament he's in.
Okay, but you know that the development of the extension of a line is a plane, right? Because all of the straight lines lie within the plane. Therefore, once you have a straight line, then you have a plane for the straight line to be contained in, at least conceptually within the geometric framework.
You don't just have a plane, you've got an infinite number of planes for the straight line to be contained within.
Oh,
That's not true, is it?
no, you can produce, let's say, a plane in any orientation, of course, but the same line can belong to different planes, but it doesn't negate fact that if you choose one plane, this line entirely would lie within that plane you choose. So that's all.
Mm-hmm.
You can rotate this, let's say, this plane in every direction, but this line would lie like
Well,
a diameter.
You could start off with the plane and then draw a line on the plane and then just move that plane wherever you wanted to and pretend it's multiple different planes. But the line lies within the plane. I mean, that's basic.
Of course, yeah. No. But not for him.
No. Multitude of...
A straight line lies within an infinite number of planes, Bev.
A straight line lies within an infinite number of planes. We did proposition 1, book 11. A straight line lies within the plane and never without that plane. It's just stays within the same plane.
Because if you have a line, you have plane and line drawn on that plane, and you will add parallel plane to that, this line would not lie within this parallel plane. It would be outside, lower or higher, whatever. But it would not lie within that plane because the parallel plane is higher, let's say. You have horizontal plane, you can draw a line on horizontal plane, and you can produce another horizontal plane parallel to that original plane, and this line would not lie within that plane. Simple, because it is on different elevation, let's say. So he cannot say what he's saying. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, you can't have a straight line lying within infinite planes.
Absolutely.
I realize you want to confuse this, but let's stick with lines, Bev. Nothing but lines. We don't need planes, just lines.
Lines?
Just lines, no planes. Please don't talk about planes to blue marble scientists. Sometimes they might get upset.
Okay, Bev.
Okay.
Are you gonna actually sit here and say that you haven't claimed that all verticals are parallel?
Blue, I've said that all perpendiculars to a horizontal plane will be parallel.
Okay, so you agree, though, in that case, that If they are not perpendicular to the horizontal, they are not necessarily parallel with each other.
Let me say this again. Geometrically, Blue. A horizontal plane is established. Then all of the perpendiculars to that horizontal plane will be parallel. That's a fact. Right?
I agree with that.
Provable fact.
Absolutely. I
Okay.
agree with that. All perpendiculars to a plane will be parallel.
Okay. Now, the horizontal plane that I state can be established in reality like a realized horizontal plane, a plane in the position with no part being higher nor lower, with no slope to any part of it. It is what is termed as mathematically and geometrically as a horizontal plane. Now, all of the perpendiculars to that horizontal plane will be geometrically parallel.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Now, as far as everybody knows, vertical and horizontal are perpendicular.
Vertical is, you just redefined it, Bev.
I just redefined vertical there by saying it would be perpendicular to horizontal. That was well done. That, you know, like, is everybody all right with my new redefinition of vertical being perpendicular to horizontal? Is that all right?
I am not all right, because I need a former or previous definition, which is different.
I think that's the same in it. Isn't that the normal one?
But if you redefine, it means that it has to be previous definition different.
Yeah.
Because, or you are just defined. Just there was no definition.
Does it sound like a good definition? I just said, as far as everybody knows, vertical and horizontal are perpendicular.
Yeah, so or you could not redefine.
Yeah.
Or it was defined as you said. So no, you are not redefining, or you are making up new definition, non-existent before. So you also not redefining.
I think it's great if I were to get my name in the history books as redefining vertical and horizontal. I think I could go down quite well. I'd get my name in all dictionaries and stuff.
Yeah.
Definition of vertical and horizontal.
But it would state for that Bev, try thinking, redefine from what definition to what definition? That would be stated, yes.
I just stated that as far as everybody knows. Listen.
As far as everybody knows, vertical and horizontal are perpendicular.
Vertical is, you just redefined it, Bev.
Redefined what? Vertical?
You were talking about perpendiculars to a horizontal plane, and now you're switching it to vertical. You're not going to play that game with me.
No,
Talking about perpendiculars to a horizontal plane, and now I switched it to verticals. Did you see that little trick? Shimmy, I did. That was clever, wasn't it?
Yeah, very clever. You said that vertical is perpendicular to horizontal, and you switch back to vertical. Oh, what a crime!
I know.
Yeah, that's too much for him.
Yeah, he's smart though, right? He's sharp as a fucking
He was
knife,
vigilant,
right?
yes,
Yeah,
yes, vigilant.
Here he is. Defending.
I'm just saying that everybody knows that vertical and horizontal have a relationship. That relationship is perpendicular.
No, not in this case. We're not talking about that anymore. We're not talking about that anymore.
We are. We're talking about a horizontal plane.
No, you're trying to transpose perpendicular to a horizontal plane and vertical, which is a gravity vector.
There you go. Everybody make sure whenever you're talking about perpendicular to horizontal and vertical, make sure that you're not Actually, well, Blue Marble said that they're all the same.
Yes.
He said that they're all the same.
So it would mean that force of gravity or whatever is perpendicular to horizontal plane.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it is. And a plumb bob,
Strange.
right? Plumb bob,
Yeah.
vertical, zenith, and his magical force. All exactly the same thing. I think, do I say
No,
that?
you said vertical is like you said, the gravity vector. It is also a plumb bob, and it is
Yeah,
also
plumb bob.
zenith, nadir.
Yeah, all those things are the same.
See, all those things are the same. But somehow, they're not quite the same. And he can say, aha, you're redefining that, when we're already said that they're the same. It's really strange dealing with the Blue Marble scientist, especially the head guy. So I don't know what's to come for anybody left in this arena. If these are the rules of the sophistry that's going on, that you never really know what words are meaning what, and which ones are going to upset the Blue Marble scientists.
Say what?
The bubble.
I thought that was, I like that. Say what? That's George. Shout out, George. God rest his soul.
Bev, the thing.
Bev. One of my favourite Bevs.
Bev, the thing.
Bev?
Okay.
No, Bev, no.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I'm sorry. You're just wrong.
Let's do that one again. There you go. Listen.
No, Bev, no. Just
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I'm sorry. You're just wrong. That's plumbing the thing. Azimuthal plane. What are you talking about?
Doesn't know what the azimuthal plane is.
Azimuthal plane. What are you talking about? You level it, Bev, in okay. Whatever.
Yes, you are telling fairy tales about some azimuthal plane. What it is.
This is going to be... all of these little clips are going in a Buster song.
Bev. Bev.
This is like warning cough.
Well...
What would the bubble do without gravity?
Have you ever contemplated with Blue Marble scientists, right? It's worth pondering upon, isn't it?
I could answer that question, but I don't want to upset Blue Marble science. So
What would a bubble do without gravity?
I would say that it would do the same.
Depends whether it's got a container or not, doesn't it? I'd say.
Yes, but
What's
yes,
a bubble
of course.
without a container?
There would be
Contemplate on that
no bubble. Yeah, it would dissipate. Yeah,
It wouldn't. It couldn't. And that bubble is also just like a plumb bob.
Oh, this is great. This bit is fantastic. Right? A bubble. What's a bubble like? Comparisons. Blue Marble science. Here we go. No joking or whatever. This is how we associate things together. Things that are the same with Blue Marble science.
And that bubble is also just like a plumb bob.
It makes sense, doesn't it? Like a plumb bob. A bubble.
In what way?
obviously pause.
Gravity is pulling down on the liquid in that and the bubble together. The bubble is trying to find the highest point it can find. That's why the little vial in the thing is curved.
Right, so how is a bubble like a plumb bob?
Because this part, which is not a bubble.
No, the bubble.
No. He's talking about gravity.
We're saying a bubble is like a plumb bob, not the other bit. The bubble is like a plumb bob.
Yes, but it works. In order, this is convoluted. You cannot, this is not.
Yeah, it's association, word association with blue marble science. Things
Yes.
that are the same as other things.
Yes, so when he is explaining that bubble is the same as plumb bob, he is talking about not bubble. This is how he explains that bubble is the same. So he's not talking about bubble, but he's talking about this gravity, which concerns this liquid.
No,
So
I'd
not
say
bubble.
that it's the same in the fact that the bubble goes up. And a
Yes,
plumb
of
bob.
course. Go down. Yes, it goes
Well, it's
down.
the
Of
same,
course.
right? It's obviously the
Absolutely.
same, isn't it? Like a plumb bob is a solid object, right? And a bubble is a gas. Like they're
Yeah.
definitely the same. One goes up,
Absolutely.
the other goes down. Exactly the same, right? They're the same, similars. Things which are equal to the same thing are equal to one another. You've got a bubble and a plumb bob.
Yes, and they are doing the same.
They're the same, yeah. Basically the same.
I don't know if I told you guys this yet,
What?
but I think blue marble science is dumb.
Really?
There is possibility, but I think that he is just very smart sophist.
Yeah, I think there's a fine line between genius and insanity, and I would add in dementia as well in there, you know. And it's out at the minute. I don't know. We'll have to see. It's finishing it off. Okay.
Gravity is forcing the bubble to go up to the when you've got the thing. Huh?
Did you say gravity's forcing it up?
Yeah, gravity is what causes that.
Okay. See, it's just the same. Up. Just
Yes,
like
so-
a plumb bob.
Yes, so gravity is causing bubble to go up.
Just like a plumb bob.
Yeah, this is yeah.
Because that's what happens with plumb bobs as well. That's why they're the same.
Why do bubbles go up?
Why do bubbles go up? Right? Why is that? It's because they're the same as plumb bobs. That's obviously the answer. Why do bubbles go up? Because they're the same as plumb bobs. We'll have you passing your blue marble science exams.
I
Don't
think that
worry.
he should make some lecture on university on that topic. Yes.
I've got it saved so it can go in a Buster song, right? So people can never forget that how bubbles are the same as plumb bobs.
Of course, you can have a horizontal plane, Bev. We've said this a million times.
Okay. Of course you can have a horizontal plane at a point which is no parts. It doesn't exist. So you can have it, but it's not there. Because I think he said that a bit earlier as well. It's not like he contradicts himself, but I mean, you've just seen how bubbles are the same as plumb bobs, so surely you should be prepared for the full onslaught of blue marble science. Everybody getting an idea what the dogmatic globe model's like?
Established by an auto level.
Can I get one from eBay?
An
I don't
auto
think
level,
so.
yes, you can. You said you've got one yourself. A dumpy.
I said I got a dumpy level.
Right. Now, so you can establish a horizontal plane then?
Yeah, I could.
So he could.
Hmm.
It's a horizontal
No.
plane. He can
How?
establish one.
He said that that there is no horizontal plane because it is, but only at a point. So, but auto level is establishing not at a point, but it extends for
In a distance.
yes, in the distance. I don't know. His auto level maybe is not working properly.
It's not an auto level, it's just a dumpy. Before, because he's quite old, right? He's got one that came before they had the auto part. So, although some of the dumpies or most of the dumpies were actually auto, but who knows? Don't know what about Blues. He's never showed us it. He's never showed us he's using it. In fact, he has told me that he's never done a 2-peg test. But then all of a sudden he's developed a lifelong thing. He's a bit like Ryan Leakey, to be honest.
1 point, Bill.
Yeah.
The point where that instrument is sitting. That is
Okay,
the only
so
point.
the
that it's
horizontal plane that's established by that auto level over, let's say, 50 meters.
Okay.
Right? When you hold your measuring rod vertical at 50 meters distance, that vertical is perpendicular to the horizontal plane, isn't it?
No, it isn't.
It should. You get sacked if you're not holding your the measuring rod vertical. You get done. You'd be the worst rod man ever. Be though, because that's one of the surveying procedures.
No, it is not.
It's not. Yes,
It is absolutely not.
You have to hold the measuring rod vertical, and the tool establishes a horizontal plane. The relationship between horizontal plane and vertical is perpendicular. That's how you know you're getting the correct.
The horizontal plane is perpendicular at the instrument and no place else. And the further away you go from the instrument, the further off it is.
So are you saying?
Yeah, competing verticals. Yeah,
Can't do it. Can't do it. You can't have it. It's not possible. Further away you go.
Okay. All right.
So
okay.
So
we measure the internal angles, just like Book 1, Proposition 29 tells us. And every time we do that, we get in excess of 180 degrees. Those verticals are not parallel. They cannot be.
So they measure the internal angles of a vertical and a horizontal. And every time, more than 180. Blue Marble Science says that.
yes. So generally, as I understand now, we are listening for hours what they are saying about this tilting verticals and diverging horizontals, etc. So it is based. So tilting verticals are calculated from this drop from horizontal, alleged drop from horizontal. This is the only way they are doing that. So they are saying that level is dropping from horizontal, and therefore there is a curve. Therefore, in distant point, there is another horizontal, which is not parallel to our horizontal. Therefore, perpendicular to that horizontal has to be tilted. And this is all they have got. So no direct measurements of tilting verticals, of course, because it is impossible. And they know that.
If they're not parallel, then the horizontals are not parallel.
Okay. But all horizontals are parallel to the plane of the horizon.
I'm sorry, you're just making a statement. You've got nothing to back that up, not a thing.
That's the definition of horizontal, Blue.
I've got all of the measurements that show that what you're saying is not right. And I've told you where the error is in your logic. You're
So we're saying the definition of horizontals are that they're parallel to the plane of the horizon. And he says he's got measurements and stuff.
Right. You can show him, of course, definition
Yeah.
in dictionary, but he didn't show us.
Well, he has. He's got those angles, hasn't he? The ones that are marked plumb line tilt. So
Yes,
he's got
but
some
this is-
tilting plumb bobs. He's got some angles that are left over in a column that Jesse Kozlowski give him.
Yes, but this is only the same. But he said before that all of them are like that. So he should bring preponderance of evidence on the table, at least 100 examples of that kind of measurements made by professionals, of course. But he didn't.
Yeah, verticals. Wally's saying that he's got some. We did say about the stolen concept, Wally. We really did. I can't remember how many times we told you. You just can't have it. It never even came in for a conversation. The amount of times we've tried telling people about the stolen concept, the great paralogism, as we call it.
Look, Bill, all you're going to do is just
know.
sit here and deny it.
Deny what?
All you're going to do is just sit here and repeat the same fallacy over and over and over again. You're not willing to look at any data that shows you that that is not true.
But
You're not
one,
willing to pay any attention
let's
to the
just say
measurements that many,
one
many, many people
horizontal.
have made.
Can
Not
you
just
have
two guys.
can you
A
have
whole lot
one
of people have made
horizontal
those
plane being
measurements.
parallel
And
to
every
the
time
plane
they
of the
make them,
horizon?
there is an excess in there's an angular excess above 180 degrees, absolutely proving that those two verticals cannot be parallel. And if they're not, the horizontals are not.
The problem is you can't measure an angle between horizontal and vertical and get more than 180.
Yes. So this is assumption only from that alleged drop. You
Because-
cannot have that.
Well, no, because you can't have a horizontal and two verticals on the same page, right? Because you can't measure the angle to get more than 180.
Yes, if you are measuring on the same horizontal, so you cannot do that.
Then once you've got the verticals that are diverging, if that's one of your axioms that you're starting off with your rule book, right? If you've had that, then you can't draw a horizontal from one to the other to measure the angles to be more than 180. It's one of the rules. Blue Marble's already said you're not allowed to do that. So how do you draw those lines to measure the angles in the first place to find out that there is more than 180 if you're not allowed to draw the lines?
Yeah, of course. That's impossibility.
Yeah. But hey,
This is not
somebody,
allowed.
yeah, I think that's what the Blue Marble Science team's there for. Like Blue Marble Science has put the globe signal out. That's what he's done. Like the big globe warning flashing lights are going off, and maybe somebody, maybe a Kumu virus, or some of these, one of these upcoming youngsters, globe youngsters, it's their chance to make themselves an Einstein, right? A modern day Einstein within this realm. It's a geometric Einstein is what we need to come and support the globe, the dogmatic globe.
Akumu is saying, I think to someone, I don't know to whom, I think you confuse perpendicular angles with perpendicular lines. I've never heard about perpendicular angles. What does it mean?
Oh, I don't know. I think he means all the right angles are
Maybe,
equal.
yes, but
I think so. Because it's the sort of similar thing, isn't it? Axiomatic.
yes, but it is lines are perpendicular. Of course, you can measure angle using straight lines only. So these lines are perpendicular. to each other because they have right angle. But naming perpendicular angle, that's just strange.
Akumu virus, right? I don't know what's happened to people's understanding of mathematics. But Akumu virus says verticals aren't parallel. We don't have perfect squares. On a side note, this makes me think of a perfect circle. I would say, Akumu, the perfect square and both the perfect circle and the perfect triangle exists within the mathematical realm. They do. That's where they are. That's where they are. That's the standard that you go by. I don't know what you're talking about. And how you can relate those to vertical being parallel.
Strange. So
Yeah.
maybe he should stop to think about that because he may end like blue marble science.
Yeah, I think this is the first stages of the nutsacking, right? We're hoping that sometime soon a true dogmatic globe hero will rise up. I mean, it can't be us, can it? We can't be the only ones coming up with the dogmatic globe proofs. There must be somebody from the globe side that wants to come and help us or join with us finding these dogmatic globe proofs.
That would be great.
Yeah. Come together and join our forces.
That is a plane of the horizon. You can have multiple, infinite number of horizontals parallel to a plane of the horizon.
Right, now, this is one of those things. We were talking about the plane of the horizon and all horizontals being parallel to it. But listen to what Blue Marble's just done. It takes a couple of times to go over this. Hear what Blue Marble actually said. Here we go.
That is a plane of the horizon. You can have multiple, infinite number of horizontals parallel to a plane of the horizon.
Right, now how many's infinite?
Infinite is infinite.
Okay, so if you can have infinite horizontals
hang on.
parallel
No.
to the plane, a plane of the horizon, how many other horizontals are left outside of that group?
None.
Right, so
None.
all
I don't agree with
horizontals.
infinite.
What?
I said I don't agree with infinite. Mine can't even fathom infinite.
What about all?
I like all.
Right, is that the same?
No. Well,
What?
no.
In that
No.
case, it is. Because
Yeah, it
you
is.
can. In that case, it is. We don't know what all is.
Well, yeah,
because
okay. I'll give
we
you that
didn't count.
one.
We didn't count.
I'll give you that one.
Mhm.
That's right. All right. The mind still can't fathom infinite.
But so what Blue's done, he's stated the same thing, except he changed the to a and all to infinite. Listen again. After saying you can't have all horizontals being parallel to the plane of the horizon, this is what Blue changes it to.
That is a plane of the horizon. You can have multiple, infinite number of horizontals parallel to a plane of the horizon.
Same thing, same statement. Just the, a, infinite, all. No difference.
So we have many infinities. So because
Yeah.
on other horizontal, you can make another set of infinite horizontals. So it's
Well,
strange. Yeah.
Can you? Because then you'd have infinite horizontals that weren't parallel. And that
Yeah.
can't happen if you've got infinite horizontals that are parallel.
Yeah, yeah.
That's an impossibility. So Blue Marble's not helping himself really within a logical understanding, or unless you want to know that Blue Marble's got an exploded logical system. How exploded is your logical understanding of any of this? Because Blue Marble Science, I don't know whether he's on his own, whether this is he's writing this into the canon, dogmatic globe canon. Okay, so all horizontals are parallel to a plane of the horizon.
Correct.
Okay, so all horizontals are now parallel to a plane of the horizon.
Yeah. So he flipped.
He's all right. He's all right with it as long as you say a plane, with all horizontals being parallel to it. How many horizontals are outside the group of all?
There is, of course, none, but still, he, I think, cannot see implication of that statement, what he said.
He's got
Because-
an exploded logical
Because if all
mind.
horizontals are, and this all is infinite number of horizontals being parallel to the a plane of the horizon, of a horizon, whatever, it means that this horizon, plane of the horizon, can be only one.
Yeah,
This is
he's
implication.
made it a 1. He's made it an A.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. In this statement, when he says that all, and he agrees that infinite number of horizontals are parallel to a plane, it means that it has to be only one plane of the horizon.
Yeah. When we said the plane of the horizon,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
didn't like that.
It,
So he's
it doesn't
changed it
matter.
to a plane and made it
It-
exactly the same, right? He's got himself
yes.
into a position that's even worse now.
Yeah, because he proves that this a plane means completely the same as the plane.
Well, it doesn't. It means a plane. He's changed it. He changed it
Yeah, yes, I know.
specifically so there is only one plane of the horizon now. I mean, it was just the plane of the horizon before. Now it's just a plane.
Yes, so he, because I think that he is implying that, okay, we have one given, but there are many.
Yeah, but he's put
But-
all of the horizontals parallel to one of them.
Yes, so it means that there are no more than one plane of horizon. Sorry, this is implication of what he
Or there could
just
be.
said.
There could be multiple other planes of the horizon, just that there will be no horizontals that could be parallel with them.
Yeah, of course, but it doesn't make any sense. But okay,
Maybe that place where all of the horizontals are parallel to, it's not here, right? Maybe Blue may
Maybe.
know where that place is, but it's just not here, right? Where we live is the place where there are no horizontals that are parallel to it, right? Horizontals have disappeared. Maybe.
Suddenly, yes.
I mean, who knows?
Okay,
Where
I
Blue
have-
lives. Okay.
I have to go off.
All right.
Nearly 2 a.m. Good night.
Yeah. Good night. I'll play this a bit more.
Good night, paper.
So that was
Make
made on for a bit.
a plane of the horizon horizontal.
I'll hang out for a bit, but I can't talk. I'm trying to finish
No
these
problem.
jobs up before I go home.
A plane of the horizon
I don't mind listening.
is horizontal, and then you can have other horizontals parallel to that horizontal.
Okay.
Yes.
So
A plane of the horizon is horizontal, and then you can have other horizontals parallel to that horizontal.
okay.
Yes.
So you can have all the horizontals parallel to that horizontal. Nice.
And if you move 1,000,000 times or 1,000,000,000 times, you're going to have 1,000,000 or 1,000,000,000 different planes of the horizon and different horizontals. None of them will be
Wait,
parallel.
what do you mean
except
different
from-
horizontals? You mean the parallel to horizontal?
Yeah, parallel from any point, Bev. It's irrefutable.
It's irrefutable. This is a bit of a long bit. Blue, how big can you establish a horizontal plane, a geometric horizontal plane? How large?
Big can you,
Yeah.
Can you understand? What do you want? You want a geometry definition of it, Bev?
I want a geometric from you, right? Geometric horizontal plane is where vertical and horizontal are perpendicular. How
Vertical
big?
defined
Yeah,
as a gravity vector, Bev?
You agreed to it. Shall we go over it again? All of the things that are the same: gravity vector, vertical, plumb bob, zenith. All things are the same as each other, right? So there's no need for you to ask me which one we're talking about, Blue. Pretty sure we've established that
over and over again.
No, I'm talking about vertical, a straight line.
If you stop switching, I'll stop clarifying.
It's a straight line, Blue. A vertical is a straight line. Now, how big can you have a geometric horizontal plane where the perpendiculars to the horizontal plane will be vertical? How big's the horizontal plane that can occur on?
How big is the horizontal plane that can occur on?
Yes.
There is no plane that can occur on.
Okay. So you don't have... So Blue Marble Science has no plane that can occur on, even though we've just talked about it multiple times and he's agreed that there is. So it's there is, there isn't. You've got to watch who you're talking to, because they will have this idea. Be very aware within this. It's there 1 minute, and then it disappears to a point, slips back in again. Then it can appear again. You just never know where it is. Have a concept of a geometric horizontal plane where perpendicular to the horizontal plane is vertical. That horizontal plane doesn't exist, does it?
A horizontal plane can be perpendicular to one and only one vertical.
But it can't be a horizontal plane then.
Why can't it be a horizontal plane?
Because on a horizontal plane, all of the perpendiculars to the horizontal plane will be vertical. But you keep saying they can't be. There's only one.
They are
so
not.
you
There's
don't
only
have
one,
a horizontal plane.
Sure you do.
No. In reality, yes, we do, Blue. Yes.
No, in reality, you absolutely don't, and I've proven that.
No, in reality, we definitely have a horizontal plane.
Nope.
Right, so listen to what's going on. He says, yes, you can have a horizontal plane. Then no, you can't have a horizontal plane. And when I say in reality you can, he says you can't. And when I say, so you don't have a horizontal plane, he says, yes, I do.
This is the epitome of model affliction and what it does to your cognitive abilities.
Just have to go against, right? I think they've got, within this Blue Marble Science framework, they've got a Bev go against whatever Bev says. So it doesn't really matter. If I say it's black, they go, no, it's white. And I go, okay, it's white. They go, no, it's black. That's the way this goes. And you can hear it in this conversation. I'll go back a little bit just to listen. But you keep saying they can't be. There's only one.
They are
so
not.
You
There's
don't have
one,
a horizontal plane.
It does.
Sure you do.
It does.
No. In reality, yes, we do, Blue.
No, we don't.
Yes.
No, in reality, you absolutely don't, and I've proven that.
So he does, and then he doesn't have it. Depends what I say. Which is very strange, considering Blue Marble Science. He's meant to be the leader of the Blue Marble scientific community. Do you want to hear that again? Because it does sound a lot contradictory.
But you keep saying they can't be. There's only one.
They are
so
not.
you
There's
don't
only
have
one,
a
Biff.
horizontal plane.
He does.
Sure you do.
No, in reality, yes,
just
we
don't
do,
have-
Blue.
No, he doesn't.
Yes.
No, in
It's
reality,
gone. It's
you
gone again.
absolutely don't, and I've proven that.
No, in reality, we
Conclusively shown it
definitely
to you.
have a horizontal plane.
No,
Nope.
you don't. No.
Right. So, like, you seem confused, Blue.
I'm not confused.
Now, you saying we
doing your
don't have
best
a
to confuse
horizontal
me.
plane in reality now?
You
or
have
are
a
you
horizontal
saying
plane in reality that is perpendicular.
You have a horizontal plane in reality. We're back again now, right? Whatever Bev says, go opposite. Just because. And now, it may not just be me. This may be a Blue Marble science tactic. You may recognize it. It's called just contradictory, right? The Blue Marble science and the dogmatic globe requires contradictions. So if that requires them contradicting everything that you say, well, you may have heard this before. You may have been around in the arena of the Blue Marble scientists, not just the Blue Marble scientists. But this is what we're going over
To one and only one vertical. One and only one.
But
if you add another vertical in, it will not be perpendicular to that plane.
In my understanding, they are vertical and horizontal.
Well, I've shown you measurements that say they're not.
And,
I've shown you measurements that prove.
I just said vertical and horizontal are perpendicular, and Blue Marble is now telling me that he's shown me measurements that say that they're not. Blue Marble science may just be a conspiracy-minded person, and he thinks there is some sort of a conspiracy pertaining to perpendicularity of vertical and horizontal. Ask yourself. Ask anybody else in the arena.
They cannot be.
We have a test called the Realizing Euclid test that shows that you can have a horizontal plane. It is
all right,
possible.
Tell me about this test. Show me this test.
We can do this.
It's a different time. We're not doing the test.
We have tools that do that, and all of the perpendiculars to the horizontal plane will be vertical. Like, everybody knows that. These are known things.
No, Bev, you're wrong about that. These are.
Listen to it again. Again. Kumu virus, what do you think about this?
We have tools that do that, and all of the perpendiculars to the horizontal plane will be vertical. Like, everybody knows that. These are known things.
All perpendiculars to a horizontal plane will be vertical.
No, Bev, you're wrong about that. These are not, what you're saying is not a known thing. It's something you guys have made up. That's all.
We've made up the fact that perpendicular to a horizontal plane is called vertical. We've made that up somehow. I mean, what's going on in this arena? What's going on with Blue Marble science? I've made it up, or we've made it up, that horizontal and vertical are perpendicular. This is a big conspiracy that Bev, me, and on the level crew here, and we made it up that vertical or horizontal. We best start getting the credit for it, because I think a lot of people know about it, right? A lot of people know.
Everybody knows the shape of the Earth. Everybody knows
I'm talking about
gravity
the Earth.
vectors. No gravity vector.
Talking about
no
horizontals and verticals.
We're talking about verticals right
Plumbobs.
now. No two verticals are parallel to each other. And we've got measurements that prove it. I've shown it to you. There's nothing else I can tell you.
Mm-hmm.
You came with nothing. I came with data.
Data.
You came with a pure geometric argument and not one ounce.
I came with a pure geometric argument. that Blue Marbles are absolutely destroyed, right? Obviously, Blue Marble has defeated a pure geometric argument.
You came with a pure geometric argument and not
That's a stolen
1 ounce.
concept.
Not 1 ounce. No, it's not a stolen concept.
Of course
it is a stolen concept. Yes, definitely. It is.
No, it is not.
Yes.
No, it is not.
It is.
You use parallel lines in your proof. And those parallel lines would be perpendicular.
Bev, I did not use parallel lines in my proof, Bev. I used Euclid Book 1, Proposition 29 to show why they are not parallel lines.
Euclid Proposition 29 is a proposition about parallel lines.
No, it's not that.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's like a drawing a square with Proposition 1 and saying it's not about an equilateral triangle. Isn't it? You start Euclid and draw a square instead of a triangle and just say, see, it's not about an equilateral triangle at all. I've got a square. Drawing not what the proposition says to say that the proposition's wrong. It's brilliant. Genius. I don't know why everybody else didn't try that a bit earlier.
Verticals are not parallel to each other.
They're just not. Says Blue Marble Science. He's given us the measurements and everything, even though it's impossible.
Yes, which absolutely agrees with all the physics we know, Biff.
Absolutely agrees with all of the physics. All of it.
There's nothing left to debate when you start out with a logical fallacy.
Which nothing left to debate once you start out with a logical fallacy. Pretty much like the Earth is flat. That's how you start off a logical debate, that you lose with a fallacy by stating that the Earth's flat, because it's not.
Yeah, what part of it is flat is what I'd like to know. Other than they call them salt flats. Is that flat?
Well, I mean, it depends what you want to call flat, right? That's the
Right.
thing, isn't it? Like, it's how closely do you relate that to flatness or whatever you want to call flat? And these guys said, like, Rumpus. Well, Rumpus said flat, which means level, which means curved. He associated flat with curved.
Smooth.
Yeah. But I mean, that's only Rumpus. Rumpus isn't really around much anymore. He didn't even go over and out Blue tonight. Blue must have upset him the other day, I think. Told him to shut up, so.
You're talking about a chart, a graph.
An elevation profile, yes.
Elevation profile is not reality, Bev.
An elevation profile is not reality. Even though it's like a blueprint for plans for buildings that do get erected. Like for canals. I mean, if the elevation profile has been drawn and it's up on somebody's wall, would you say that's reality? I would. The elevation profile is a depiction of reality in reality. So, Blue Marble says it's not.
And they all use horizontal lines, don't they?
Well, why would you try to draw it with curved lines, Biff? Why would you do that?
Well, you
Why would
use
anybody
the
do that?
perpendicular relationship between vertical and horizontal. That's precisely why you use
No, you don't.
horizontal.
No, that's not why elevation drawings are done the way they're done. That's a depiction
So
of how
you measure a
how
distance, a
far you're
horizontal
deviating.
distance, and a
That's a
vertical
measurement of how.
height. See, Blue Marble does this a lot. He talks all over people. But I think, as far as I know, within this arena, my certificate for land surveying was done over a 2-year course where we actually used the auto level to map and position all of the points and like draw this sort of stuff. So we had to do all of the elevation profiles, the points, the plotting and all of that. So I do actually know how elevations are measured. I do know that. Got a certificate to show that I do know that, and I've been through that procedure. From what I've heard from Jesse Kozlowski, Larry Scott, and George, and Rumpus, and Blue Marble, they don't know anything about it. I don't know if there is anybody that actually knows how elevations are measured, checked, and relied upon. I don't know anybody that knows that. So we'll see. Hopefully there might be a surveyor who was willing to come round and have a look.
Yeah, that's the way you do a chart.
Yes, all elevation profiles have a horizontal, and on those horizontals, they are all parallel, right? And they have an equal elevation.
You know why they're all parallel, Biff? Why are all the horizontals parallel?
Because all horizontals are parallel to the plane of the horizon, making all
Why?
horizontals parallel to
What
each
are
other.
they telling you? What are they telling you?
They're
What are
all
they
points of an
representing?
equal elevation lie
Equal
along
elevation,
that
exactly.
horizontal
And
plane.
elevation is a curve.
No, it's a
Elevation
horizontal
is not
plane.
straight. No, in space, Bev.
No, we're talking about in
Elevation
reality,
is
Blue, with the
curved.
elevation
In reality,
profiles. In reality. Yes.
In reality, elevations are curved.
No.
Do you like?
Yes.
In reality, elevations are curved.
No.
Even though in reality, elevation profiles all have a horizontal baseline. Blue Marble Science thinks it curves.
You know there's a difference between a straight line and a curved line.
Of course there is, Bev.
Okay.
There you go.
And
No idiot draws curved lines on an elevation profile for any reason.
No idiot draws curved lines on elevation profiles because they're all to a horizontal baseline.
Then why does he think they're all curves?
I don't know whether they do, actually. I think their minds are a mess. They don't know whether they're coming or going. It all depends what they say and what you say. They just have to contradict whatever you say. And sometimes they contradict themselves. Yeah, that is the model affliction. It's bad. It's like it's really bad for you. It's worth warning people about the dangers of this, what we call a nutsack. The nutsacking. It's where you start to accept contradictions in favour of the model whilst denying how things are in reality. You leave yourself in a really bad position.
I don't see it. Where is it? Bev, it's an orthographic plan projection. Where would there be any curve there?
Okay. So it's an orthographic plan projection. All maps, plans. Where would the curve be? Why would there be a curve there, says Blue Marble? There wouldn't be, because it's plan. It's a horizontal plane. Everyone can see that.
No, they'll always show it horizontally.
I know.
There's no need to show it. We know it's curved.
What? So all of the plans that he just said were horizontal. Listen to this.
No, they'll always show it horizontally.
I know.
There's no need to show it. We know it's curved.
There's no need to show it's curved because Blue Marble says it's curved. We know it. So we show horizontals and we show plan on a horizontal, but there's no need to show it curved because everybody knows it curves. We know it curves, says Blue Marble. Listen, I know.
There's no need to show it. We know it's curved.
What?
There's no point in going to the trouble of drawing a curve that you can't even see, Bev.
No, it's horizontal, Blue.
No, it's curved, Bev.
No, there's no curve to a horizontal.
In reality, elevations are curved.
But
over the length of a
horizontal.
building, over the length of a building, you'd need an electron microscope to see it.
Right, so the horizontal plans for a building are horizontal. And we make them horizontal, and they're all drawn horizontal into Blue Marble Science because we all know they're curved. And in order to be able to see the curve, what would you need for a building? An electron microscope. Now, whereabouts would you use an electron microscope to find the curve that Blue Marble states is known about within a horizontal elevation? With an electron microscope. We're going curvature hunting with an electron microscope on a building with Blue Marble Science. And he says he can measure this. Every measurement that's ever been made supports what Blue Marble's saying. Just that you'd need an electron microscope to know that the horizontal actually curved. There's no curvature in a horizontal, Blue.
Hell yeah, there is.
It's like that. Hear it again. There's no curvature in a horizontal, Blue.
Hell yeah, there is.
Hell yeah, there is, says Blue. After I say there's no curvature in a horizontal. Now, I'm beginning to think it may just be me. It may just be that I'm the person that says something and then Blue Marble Science just has to say something fucking ridiculous. There's no curve in a horizontal. Blue Marble says there's no curvature in a horizontal, Blue.
Hell yeah, there is.
Hell yeah, there is. Sorry?
Horizontally, on that elevation profile, horizontally is an arc.
Horizontal's an arc. Does that sound suspiciously like? I don't want to say it. You know what I'm going to say. Curvy horizontals, right? It's coming. It's making a comeback. Spot on said, shout out Spot on. Right at the beginning. There's only one way out that these guys have got. Here it is. Horizontal.
Bev, I'm talking about directions on a piece of paper, Bev, not reality.
So the elevation profiles that are measured in reality, he says it's on a piece of paper. That's not reality. But the piece of paper is actually in reality. And all of the measurements that you depict on the elevation profile will have been measured in reality. So it's just about as close as you can get to reality, the elevation profile. Blue Marble Science.
There is no arc to a horizontal.
Yes,
Blue.
there is. It's not horizontal, Bev. It's level.
So now it's not horizontal. Whereas there is an arc to it. And it is bending. I'm not too sure whether he's okay, Blue. Does anybody know, Blue? I sort of give him a knock to make sure he's okay. Seems a bit strange.
I looked at the data, the actual
Just a straight
measurement,
line as far as I know.
and it's quite clear that it's curved.
Uh-huh. Do you want to check that? Listen to that again? This is a bit of a weird stage of the conversation. This was a debate we went through, right?
I looked at the data, the actual
Just a straight
measurement,
line as far as I know.
and it's quite clear that it's curved.
I say straight line, horizontal profiles, and blue marble once again. Let's put a curve to it. Must be tough. This thing can be gone over. Anybody can go and listen to this. This is blue marble science. In a debate, rebutting all horizontals being parallel.
Level departs from horizontal, Bev.
But
Your auto level showed it.
an
Clear,
auto
crystal
level.
clear.
So, blue marble thinks that level deviates from horizontal in a tool called a level that establishes a horizontal. And this tool called a level that establishes a horizontal supposedly shows that level deviates from horizontal. Work that one out. If you can. Blue marble science. Blue is a tool for establishing horizontal planes.
That's right. And a beach is a reality establishing level.
Anybody? A level is a tool for establishing a horizontal plane, and a beach is a thing in reality for establishing level. That's impressive. So, if you want to establish a horizontal, get yourself a level. And if you want to establish a level, get yourself a beach.
Horizontal.
Level departs from horizontal, Bev.
But
Your auto level showed it.
an
Clear,
auto
crystal
level,
clear.
Blue, is a tool for establishing horizontal planes.
That's right. And a beach is a reality establishing level.
A beach is a reality establishing level. I'm not too sure what that means. Maybe it's a code. But, I mean, that's good. That's good. A beach is a reality establishing level. Reality is a beach establishing level. Make a nice t-shirt, that. Blue Marble Science. Blue Marble Science Designs.
You telling me that the water is dropping away?
The true horizon is definitely horizontal, right?
Bev.
Bev.
Blackpool Tower is 95 feet lower than your damn theodolite or your auto level. That's what it shows.
Does anyone want to take that one on? I know Blue's had a go at us today. This is as far as I've got. Don't know whether we even got to the everywhere. I'll have to be going over that tomorrow. Finish some.
Blackpool Tower is 95 feet lower than your damn theodolite or your auto level. That's what it shows.
95 feet lower, says Blue. Lower. And then I say, how do you know it's lower? It's not lower. How do you know it's not just lower? And where he said it is lower. Listen again. Blue
Tower's
marble.
95 feet lower than your damn theodolite or
Lower.
your auto level. That's what it shows.
That's what it shows.
You
It
can't
doesn't.
deny that.
Yeah,
Can't
I
deny
will.
it.
I'll
See
deny that.
exactly
Say
where
that's
the
fucking
crosshair is.
ridiculous, Blue.
So, you may have heard Blue Marble say whatever he said yesterday, right? Listen to this.
You
It
can't
doesn't.
deny that.
Yeah,
You
I
can
will. I'll
see
deny that.
exactly
Say
where
that's
the
fucking
crosshair is.
ridiculous, Blue.
So there you go. You can't deny it. And I said, yeah, of course I can. It's fucking ridiculous. So I can still ask a question of someone, Blue Marble Science, but it's never going to get answered. But how do you know? How do you know, Blue Marble Scientist, that Blackpool Tower isn't just lower? After Blue Marble Science says it's 95 feet lower. And I've said, don't be fucking ridiculous. It's stupid. Blue Marble Science is the one that said it's 95 feet lower. Who are you going to take? Because Blue Marble Science will laugh at you if you ask him, why is it 95 feet lower? I say it's not. It's fucking ridiculous. It's stupid.
And if you're going to deny that, then that's the end of this. We need to just stop at this point.
Yep. So if you're going to deny it, you're going to deny that it's not 95 feet lower, Blue Marble's going to pick up his ball and leave. And I'll still keep denying it. Blackpool Tower is not 95 feet lower. Now, I said this ages ago. Blue Marble Science tried to misrepresent that yesterday. Because Blue Marble Science is a little bit dishonest. Or he's got an exploded mind. He can't form logic statements. He contradicts himself and whoever he's talking to. So it's not really possible to be able to have a communication, successful communication with people like Blue Marble Science. He doesn't know whether he's coming or going. He likes to contradict the person he's talking to. He likes to contradict himself. Like the statement with the bubble. The bubble being the same as the plumb bob. There's another bit that's coming up. We're not going to get over it tonight. I'm going to have to go. I'm knackered. I'm going to have to stop this. But there's a bit coming up which we will go over, and I'll put it in as Buster Song, where he says the mean sea level is just a point, Eric, and it goes everywhere. That's it. That's Blue Marble Science. Blue Marble Science and the mean sea level goes everywhere. It's just a point and it goes everywhere. That's the way it is. We'll go over this again. Obviously, there's going to be loads more of this stuff. We've had many conversations that I need to get at, but I need to get past this one first. People keep coming round and talking to us. If you want to be one of those people that come round and stop me from making videos, pop into the Discord. Come and have a chat. There's quite a few of us in here. Conversations are always brilliant. It stops me from making videos. And believe me, I've got conversations for days. Some of them are great conversations. I've got 4 5-hour conversations ready to put out. I don't get a chance to put them out though, because I'm always having conversations with people in the Discord. Everyone should come and have a chat. Let us know about the arena. It's a crazy place. All your experiences. We think there is a new breed of people or whatever. people are waking up to this idea that this is going nowhere. There's models that don't help people within a thought process. And until you've managed to be able to drop that model, it's really hard to be able to think clearly about anything, because you've got your rule book wrote down for the model. You've even got your argument rule book wrote down. So you know which arguments are meant to go. You know what you're meant to say when somebody says something, and you know how the argument flows. Well, they're scripted arguments. They've been given to you by people that want the scripted argument to go round and round. They're just circular arguments. I don't know whether people are beginning to realise that. Hopefully. Right. I need to go and get some kit. So, bust a song. Anyone want to have a go at taking a pick? We've got some new ones to go with. I will be doing some new ones, obviously. All of this stuff. This Blue Marble Science Model Affliction. Crazy. Who have we got in? Rob. Rob, take your pick. Come on. Anyone in the chat? Let us know. Bust the song, and then I'll have to get off. Oh, let me have a look. What have we got? What haven't we had for a bit? New one. Yeah, I'm trying to get to true level. I really am. The funky one with Buster and his, yeah. Who will? Who will? Two conflicting truths. Or who will? And the new one. I think Paige said the new one first. Okay, Fools, Betty. Brand new one. This is one of the newest ones. Only short one, 5 minutes. Okay, thank you very much. Please join us tomorrow. We will be doing a show tomorrow. It's, is it Wednesday? Trivium. Going over these arguments. Trivium Day, yeah. Okay, see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining us.
I'm not sure we've got a show that would work very well because most of it was shouting, to be honest. Some of it my shouting, I admit.
Yeah. So I think you did all of the shouting, didn't you?
Actually, I did. Yeah.
Good day, everybody. Welcome to our Saturday morning discussion.
The definition you've given of level is as a horizontal plane. So by this definition, level is horizontal. Oh wow! Okay, the Earth is the Earth. I agree with that. Level is horizontal as I defined. I agree with that. So is it rational to believe both? Yes. We're done. Oh wow!
I got your numbers right here.
You interrupted me.
It's just as easy as 1, 2, 3.
You interrupted me there. I was speaking.
You have to open your mind.
But it's painful.
Imagination is all you need. Don't take advice from fools.
Okay.
Everything that they say is in vain.
You interrupted me again.
Never take advice from fools. We all know what they do is in vain.
There are many definitions in the dictionary, some of them are contradictory. Scientific definitions often disagree with commonly used ones, and indeed the dictionary ones. So, and level is horizontal by definition, and you would be insane. You would be insane to deny it. Okay, the Earth is the Earth. I agree with that. It's horizontal as I defined. I agree with that. So, is it rational to believe both? Yes, we're done. Oh wow!
Everything is relative to you.
Under the definition that I accept, a level surface is not a plane surface.
Just like those straight lines are curving.
Mike, I'm happy to go with that definition for now.
Drive down the road, don't you ever swerve. And I don't
Like a ball, that would do. Yeah. Is the Earth shaped like a ball?
All of this goes. Never take advice from fools.
Oh wow!
Everything that they say is in vain.
All verticals are parallel.
Never take advice from fools. Everything that they do.
It's been wonderful chatting with you, Betty. I can't believe, so we've now tackled, it's not possible for two people to be below each other, and level is definitely horizontal, and the Earth is definitely the Earth.
Oh wow!
Thank you.
Yeah, we've agreed there. Yeah, the surveying definition says level is the same as horizontal.
We've been talking about the real globe for a long time here.
I know the game that you're playing.
It's the dogmatic globe.
And I know exactly what's on your mind.
Dogmatic globe.
You got your playbook, it's alright.
Yeah, I'm sort of losing here, Mike.
Your model dictates what you will find.
I'm actually trying to help you. I'm trying to help you.
I don't know
Thank you for helping me, but
where all of this goes.
yeah, I'm sort of losing here, Mike.
Don't take advice from fools.
No, let me finish.
Everything that they say is in vain.
Mike, you're interrupted again.
Never take advice from fools.
There's the dogmatic globe.
We all know what they do is in vain.
Under the definition that I accept, a level surface is not a plane surface.
So you think it's a synthetic proposition that could be proven experimentally?
That the Earth is a globe? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
either the Earth is a globe or it's not a globe.
Good day, everybody. Welcome to our Saturday morning discussion.